Hey everybody, welcome back. Happy Tuesday. Boy, the days are just starting to run together. Tack för sist, välkommen tillbaka. Käk to snacka med idag. So listen, I wanna clear something up because I love getting the comments, reading the comments. I think it's freaking awesome. It's what kind of makes this fun for me too. Hopefully, I'm putting something out there that you at least find kind of interesting or entertaining. But I've done several videos, just kind of fun videos. I've done videos talking about leaving the church. Yesterday, I did one on excommunication. Didn't go into a lot of depth, but enough that I think people got the feel for what I was trying to say. But one thing I want to make clear, because I don't know that it's clear, is that I don't hold a whole bunch of animosity towards the Mormon church. I just don't. My parents are very devout members. I know there are some of you that look at it as a cult, and that's fine. You get to think of things and look at the world the way you see it. I don't have a problem with that, but I don't want it to come across like I'm some hater. Part of the reason I left is because I just didn't feel like I fit in there. It didn't fit me and what I believe. And I'm not looking to be converted by something else. I've had several people say, you gotta accept this, you gotta do this, you gotta do that. To each his own. I'm not on here trying to preach to anybody to tell you what to do or who to be or what to believe. The only caveat I ever put to that is, as long as you're not hurting somebody else, oppressing somebody else, forcing somebody else to believe or think the way you do, then I got no problem with it. There are definitely organizations in this world, whether it's religious or business or just a social group, that put pressure on people, and there can be really severe consequences if you don't follow or believe the way that they think you should believe. I don't ever want to come across that way. So if I've come across that way even a little bit, I want to apologize for that, because that's not what I'm trying to do. I'm just trying to tell my story and tell some fun stories at the same time. I just figure if I'm going to put this out there, that I want it to be sincere and authentic. I don't want to put across some version of myself that's not me. I've had people in my life say, don't put too much out there, don't say too much. And while I understand that point of view, if I'm going to do this, then it's going to be me. The good, the bad, the ugly. I mean, for the most part, I just want to have fun. I just want to have a good time. A bunch of my friends were texting today. Apparently today is National Beer Day. And I'm like, I rarely drink at all during the week unless I'm on a cruise or camping. Those are kind of or some sort of vacation. But it's just what I do in my life. But, that's the fun stuff. I love hanging out with my family and my friends and just having a good time and cutting loose. Sitting around telling stories is one of my favorite things to do. When I go back up to Canada, pretty much every summer. In fact, when our kids were younger, we would go up 2, 3, 4 times every summer. And, they got to see their cousins and their aunts and uncles and, excuse me. But one of my favorite things to do is sit around with my brothers up there, go to a bar, tell some stories, have some drinks, or even just sit around a fire. Like my buddy, who's now my brother-in-law, we've been friends for, damn near 50 years. Like 46 years probably. And one of my favorite things is just sitting and bullshitting with him. He has to haul his own water, and I just love going for rides in the country with him. And I love just having a beer and just kicking back and not taking the world too seriously. I have made it a point in the last, let me put it this way. I say all the time, I'm not going to get political on here, and I'm not. I mean, I might hint at things, but no matter what I say, the way things are today, half of you are going to say, oh, he's an idiot, and half are going to say, oh, he's fantastic. Well, I'm neither an idiot or fantastic. I mean, I have my flaws like anybody else. But when the whole COVID thing happened, I know I'm straying from the talking about what I started this video, but all I wanted to get across is I am not slamming on the Mormon church, so please don't take it that way. If you want to do that, that's up to you. You get to make your choice. I'm past that now. So the stories I tell going forward, please don't take them as some slam on that church. It's not. Anyway, yeah, I like to have a good time. I like to, I remember what I was saying. When COVID hit, I think most of us were just glued to our TVs. My wife and I love having our coffee in the morning. We sit out on the porch if it's nice and just sit and talk and have coffee. Well, when that whole thing happened, we found ourselves, like probably tens of millions of other people, watching the news for hours every morning. What's going on? Are they shutting this down? Are they letting us do this? And we got so wrapped up in it, and it didn't make me happy. It didn't make her happy. So I have really started to distance myself from that kind of stuff. And some of you might say, well, you're just sticking your head in the sand. And I'm not. I'm very aware of what's going on in the world. I'm very aware of the divide in this country. I just choose not to make that my focal point. I will not be friends with you or not be friends with you based on who you vote for. I will be friends with you or not friends with you based on the type of person you are. And there are lots of good people all over the place. I think the majority of people, I say this all the time, are good people. And I think most people, if you could just sit down and have a beer or a coffee or a Coke or whatever, we would get along. I think it's trying to go back to a time in the past. I just did a video yesterday, a video short. I don't know if you've heard of friction maxing. I had never heard the term until yesterday. I don't know if I'm supposed to look here or here. So if I'm not making eye contact, I apologize. But yeah, friction maxing. I had never heard that term before, so I asked AI, what the hell is friction maxing? And what it is, I did a little short on it. I think it was about a minute and a half. But it's basically what we were in the 70s and 80s, and I'm sure going back hundreds of years. We were there in the moment. I cannot tell you how many times I'll go out to a bar, to a restaurant, to a coffee shop, and there'll be a group of people together, and they're all on their phones. They're not with each other. They're not talking to each other. And I'm not judging you because you grew up in a different time than I did. But I know there are a lot of younger people that are starting to think, this is not the best way. You know, let's interact. Let's be real. Let's have a conversation instead of texting. There's still lots of times, if I'm texting with somebody and we're having a longer conversation, either me or the other person will call and just talk. And it's even better when you get together in person and you just sit and have a conversation and just, you're one-on-one or 1-on-10. You know, we had a bonfire a couple weekends ago at a buddy's house. And I can't remember how many of us there were, probably, 14 or 16, something like that. And it was so much fun. You would have a conversation with somebody here, and then you would wander over there and you grab a beer, and then you go talk to those two over there. Sometimes the whole group would have a conversation, but nobody was on their phone. Nobody was on their phone. I remember several years ago, we went on a vacation to Mexico with 5 couples. We rented this amazing house right on the beach. If you know where Tulum is, it's south of Cancun. We had our own private beach. We had a mansion, basically, 5 bedrooms, all suites with their own bathrooms, private beach, pool. It was amazing. We had so much fun sightseeing, swimming, drinking, laughing. But one of my friends was always on the phone, and I didn't understand it then, and that was 13 years ago. I don't understand it now, but I think people, even younger people, are kind of waking up to, hey, it's nice to have a conversation and be involved with somebody and be there for that person. So friction maxing basically is just being real, being in contact, seeing somebody in person. And when you're with somebody, you're with somebody. My wife and I and my kids will go out for coffee sometimes. And it's very rare that any of us picks up our phone and sits and just scrolls on the phone, drinking our coffee while they're across the table from us. And I'm not judging if that's what you do and it's your thing and it makes you happy. Hey, more power to you. It's not my thing. I'm on my phone plenty. I mean, I do this, I do TikTok. I'm not one to judge. I swore I would never do TikTok. Now, I've been on it for over a year and it's actually taken off pretty good and I'm having fun. I have fun doing this. From the comments I'm getting, I'd say it's about 95% of you. It's nice comments. It's friendly banter. Even the ones that disagree, most of you disagree respectfully. And I try to, if I disagree with you and I comment, I'm going to try and do it respectfully. I'm not looking to make any enemies doing this. I'm looking to make friends, even if we're just digital friends. There's a couple that, I mean, I've mentioned them before, that follows, and they're fun. I can tell by their comments that they're fun. I think they live in Utah as well. And I just always look forward to their comments. And, sometimes you can kind of get a feel for, hey, I could probably sit around a fire and have a BS session with this person or that person. And there are a bunch of you that have made comments where I'm like, yeah, I know I could sit and have a drink with you and just laugh and have a good time. I'm not saying that's what I'm not saying let's all get together, because see, this is the kind of thing my family and friends say, don't get too personal. But my point is, I'm just having a good time. And so don't take anything, even if I'm talking about the church, don't take it too seriously from me. I don't take it too seriously. I say it all the time. I have lots of friends and family that are still in that church. I have friends that are on the opposite side from me politically, and we're friends. I don't have a problem with that. I won't talk about my politics with people I don't know. And, even though hopefully we're friends here, I just don't see any good coming from that. I wish it wasn't like that. It didn't used to be like that. When I dated back in the 70s and 80s, I didn't know what any of my girlfriend's politics were. Didn't even enter my brain. And it's become almost an obsession for some people now. Anyway, I'm rambling now, so I think I'll end it here. I'm going to try and download this video tonight, but I have such crappy internet and signal here. I don't know what's going on. It's not like I'm out in the middle of the Sahara Desert, but I just have such a poor signal. So we'll see if I can get it up tonight, Tuesday night. I'll try to get the video up, but might be tomorrow. Seems like once I get out of the hotel, it actually works better. But thanks for watching. I know that was kind of a rambly one. I'll tell some more stories. I got a million of them. Stuff pops into my head all the time, and I'm like, oh, I should make a video of that right now. But so tack för denna gång. Men snackas igen snart. Thank you. Seriously, thank you for watching, subscribing, comments, thumbs up. I just dig it, and I have so much fun doing it. So I hope you all have a beautiful Tuesday night. It's National Beer Day. I might have to sneak one beer tonight just to be part of it. I don't know. Anyway, you all have a great night.